The world of luxury is loud. We see Bernard Arnault acquiring brands like a warlord. We see the heirs of Gucci and Hermes dominating the covers of every fashion magazine. But behind one of the most iconic logos in history, the double C, lies a mystery. No one knows who owns it. No one knows where they live. They don't sit in the front row of their own fashion shows. They don't give interviews. And if they walked past you today on the street, you wouldn't have the slightest clue that they are worth over $100 billion. These are Alain and Gerard Wertheimer, the ghost owners of Chanel. In 1924, Coco Chanel was already a legend, but she had a problem. Her perfume, Chanel No. 5, was a global sensation, but she lacked the industrial scale to bring it to the world. That's when Pierre Wertheimer, a businessman and the grandfather of Alain and Gerard, saw what Coco couldn't, a desire factory. He provided the capital, the manufacturing, and the distribution network. But the deal was brutal. Pierre took 70% of the company. Coco was left with only 10%. Coco Chanel spent the rest of her life trying to sue them to take her company back. But the Wertheimers were always one step ahead. They anticipated every move, protected the brand's integrity, and in the end, they didn't just own the perfume, they became the sole owners of the Chanel name itself. The business lesson. When Alain and Gerard took over in 1974, Chanel was dying. It was perceived as a brand for a previous generation, outdated and fading. Most CEOs would have flooded the market with cheap licenses, putting the Chanel logo on everything from towels to keychains for a quick profit. The Wertheimers did the opposite. They implemented what experts call the negative growth strategy. They aggressively cut points of sale. They hiked prices. They made it intentionally difficult to buy a Chanel bag. They mastered a fundamental law of luxury that very few understand. Profit lives in the gap between desire and availability. While their competitors fought in the red ocean of mass luxury, the brothers sailed alone in a blue ocean of extreme exclusivity. They didn't want to be the biggest, they wanted to be the most wanted. Their masterstroke wasn't a product, it was a person. In 1983, they hired Karl Lagerfeld. Lagerfeld became the loud face for the silent empire. He stood in the spotlight so the Wertheimers didn't have to. For over 30 years, Karl was the shield. He handled the press, the controversies, and the fame. Behind the scenes, the brothers remained obsessed with invisible quality. They began buying up all their suppliers, the small specialized workshops in France that produced the lace, the buttons, and the leather. They didn't just build a brand, they constructed a vertically integrated fortress. Today, Chanel is the only major luxury house that remains 100% private. No shareholders to please, no quarterly reports for the public. They play the game of decades. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, the Wertheimers proved that the ultimate luxury is anonymity.